we wake.
Good morning guys, I'm talking quietly because James is still asleep, but I'm just sat eating my pre-workout banana. It is the last week of my furlough, so I've been really enjoying in the mornings before my workout. I'm still getting up fairly early, it's about 6:30 to train before James wants to train. While I am on this furlough period, I've been enjoying taking it just a little bit slower, getting up a little bit later, and also like part of my pre-workout routine at the moment is after I finish eating my banana, I come and I sit in the living room and I take literally 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, to sit without my phone, without anything else going on, and just enjoy, like, now the mornings are a bit lighter, taking a few minutes to just sit in peace has been really nice.
You and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, well, you know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay, so as you can tell from the title of this video, it is going to be another what I eat in a day as a diabetic, and honestly I feel like all of my recent vlogs I've been trying different things to try and get my sugars to be the best managed as possible and to get my health back from like my thyroid problems that I was having and then I wasn't having, and all of these different health problems that like we still haven't got to the bottom of. And so recently, you know, I was trying low carb, but honestly it just didn't work for me. Like I needed less basal insulin overnight, which was really nice, but my blood sugars throughout the day were just so unstable when I wasn't having carbs. And I never went super low carb, but I really reduced my carbs. I was only kind of eating carbs in the morning, and then the rest of the day having low carb meals. And it just didn't work for me, and I 100% appreciate that low carb or keto works wonders for some people, but for me it made my control worse. And so I'm back to eating a moderate carb diet. I'm feeling so much better. My blood sugars are so much better. So this isn't going to be a low carb what I eat in a day. It's going to be a regular what I eat in a day as a diabetic, how I manage my insulin. But don't worry. So the low carb series I did where I was filming low carb lunches, dinners, snacks, all of that. I am still going to be uploading those videos because I know, like I said, a lot of you do follow a low carb diet, and I still wanted to provide you with those recipes. So those videos will still be coming out, but just bear in mind I am now no longer low carb, but like I said, I'm doing everything I can to manage my diabetes. So I have actually hired and got on board with a diabetes coach, and she is amazing. I'm only in week 1 and I'm seeing such a massive difference in my blood sugars, and she's really getting to the bottom of concrete strategies for me to manage my sugars, because my digestion is really slow. I'm needing a lot of split boluses. So it is now time for my second breakfast bolus, because I have to split bolus my breakfast. At the moment, on a training day, I have 4 units before my protein oats, and then I have 1 unit afterwards. I did spike up a little bit after my oats because I didn't leave quite long enough for my pre-bolus, but that was my fault because I was in a rush. But I am now back down to 7.9, so I am going to do my 1 unit second bolus dose. Still in week 1, so I'm still experimenting with different ratios, different pre-bolus patterns. So I thought I would bring you on a day of week 1 new ratios to just show you how it's going and how it is okay to experiment with your diabetes if ultimately it's going to get you to your better control. So before working with her, my average time in target was about 74%. So I would have some good days. I'd even have a few like 90% plus days or 100% days, but then equally I'd have some bad days, and averaged about like 74%. And since working with her, I have not gone below 85%, and I've had 3 days in a row where it's been 93% plus. So that is amazing progress for me in just a few days, and I really genuinely think that I can get my standard percent up to 85% working with her, so I'm super excited. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring you on an experimental day. We're trying loads of different techniques. Although I like know the fundamental basics myself and I know the theory behind it, I find it really hard to analyze my own sugars and create a concrete strategy for myself. So it's like, yeah, I know what I should be doing, but I find the implementation really hard, which is why I went on and hired a coach. So yeah, that is where I'm at, and I'll catch up with you with my next injection or food. I wanted to show you also this plant. I put it on my Instagram story because I just think it's amazing. But like, look at that, its stems are pink and it's wild, and I'm still coming up with a name for this bad boy. Well, I think it's a girl. I just feel like she has so much sass. It's definitely a girl plant. I am trying to decide a name. If you have any suggestions, leave it down below. And also, I am aware it's gross down there. We rent this place. It has damp problems. We clean the mold every few weeks and it just comes back. Such is life. But I really wanted to show you this gal because we love her, and we went to the garden centre only intending to buy like plant food and compost and not get any more plants, because if you saw the workout section of this video and my living room, you know we have a lot of plants. But how can you not buy that when you see it? So yeah, currently needing a name. Okay, so I have been pretty much sat down since doing that injection. I'm about to go for a walk. It's nearly lunchtime and I am at 6.4. See, I love having my camera now because I can show you my screen, because before I would record on my phone and then I couldn't show you my scans. But yeah, 6.4. And like I said, I'm about to go on a walk. Walks have been making me go really hypo recently, which is super annoying, and another reason why I want a pump, because I can't just go for a walk if my blood sugars are in range. Realistically, I probably need a snack before I go, but I want to have lunch as soon as I get back from a walk, and that's one really frustrating thing. Is like, I don't want to just keep eating just so I can walk. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to eat anything, and I'm just going to go, and then I'm obviously just going to take hypo snacks with me. I'm going to do about a 35-minute loop. Fingers crossed I don't hypo, but I think I probably will. And we have a success. So I actually did end up having 2 dextro towels before my walk because I wasn't feeling all that confident in my sugars, and I've just got back and I am 5.7, so super happy with that. And it is now lunchtime, and I'm going to have a cooked broccoli and cauliflower salad with chicken thigh, which is actually a recipe in my low carb lunch video that's going to be coming out soon. But yeah, I said I'm not eating low carb anymore, and I'm not, but I do still enjoy some of the recipes that I discovered during my low carb period, and so I'm going to continue to eat them when I want them. Luckily it's already pre-prepped, so I'm just good to inject and go, and I'm going to have 2 tangerines for dessert. So I don't really have too many carbs, and it's just going to be 1 unit of insulin for me for lunch. I'm finding as well I'm going hypo a lot more recently, so I think I've mentioned this before, but I am someone who has very fluctuating insulin sensitivity between summer and winter, and obviously we're coming towards summer now. It's meant to be spring, although it is now raining outside my window, and I get really insulin sensitive in the summer, so I'm thinking I'm hopefully on my journey towards more insulin sensitivity, so I'm keeping an eye on the hypos, but yeah, just gonna be 1 unit for lunch, and about a 10-minute pre-bolus. So lunch bolus went well. I keep forgetting that I can show you. I just scanned and I'm at 7.5. So far I've been in range pretty much all day, which has been good, other than a little spike after breakfast, because I didn't do my pre-bolus soon enough before, but that's fine. But it's nearly 3 o'clock and I'm getting peckish, and I'm gonna have 2 of my protein balls. They're like peanut butter date protein balls. There's 20 grams of carbs for those, so that's gonna be 2 units of insulin for me. I'm not gonna do any correction, because yeah, I'm only 7.5, and yeah, I've just been sat down at the computer most of the day, so that's pretty much an update. I'm gonna have a 15-minute pre-bolus for these. Okay, so I have been sat down literally all afternoon helping James with some stuff and doing some research, and it's now 5 p.m. and if you watched my 7 things I do every day to help keep my blood sugars stable video, you know that I love to keep moving and walk and that kind of thing, and obviously I went for my morning walk, but I always go for normally 2 walks a day, because if I was like at work in the office, I'd be at least commuting to and from. So while I'm at home on furlough, I make sure that I do a morning and an afternoon walk. So me and James are going to go for our walk now. My blood sugars are 7.1, so I'm hoping they're not going to drop massively. I'm not going to have any snacks before I go, just because I have been sat down for a long time and I haven't really had that much insulin today. And fingers crossed again that I don't go hypo. And then when we get back, we're going to do dinner, and we're currently deciding, because we've decided that one day this weekend we're going to get takeaway, and then the other day we'll finish our like leftover meal for the week, which is like pulled pork. I think James is going to have it in a burger, but I prefer to have mine just with like chips and then like the vegetable side, just because I don't really like burger buns very much. But anyway, that's completely irrelevant. So we're currently deciding between takeaway and pulled pork, so I will keep you updated, but either of those options sound very good to me right now. Also, before I go, I thought I would just show you like the detail of my plan that my coach is working out for me. So I have, by the end of like this, like my 12 weeks working with my coach, I'm going to have 4 whole different basal rates, depending on activity levels and stress as well. I have my different bolus rates, but also the splits for my pre and post bolus. So as you can see, like a lot of the time I'm having to split my dose quite a lot. How long to leave my pre-bolus depending on the time of day, and also like what activity I've been doing. So post-workout, pre-workout, post-walk, pre-walk, caffeine. Everything is going to be documented like this, and I'm going to have it completely like nailed down by the end of the 12 weeks. But obviously there are so many factors that go into managing our blood sugars, and having a plan like this where I've actually got my own concrete ratios rather than just like knowing the theory and kind of semi-applying it each time. I actually have my personal ratios that I've never been able to work out to this exact standard before myself, and this isn't my final ratios, we're still working through it. We've only been working together for a week, but honestly it's been amazing, and every single change that we've made so far has been getting my graphs flatter and flatter. So if you were wondering what a diabetes coach does, this is kind of it, and it has been life-changing for me, and I've only went with her for 5 days so far. We went for it. So my blood sugars are, it just disappeared, that's annoying. But I just scanned and they were 5, and I'm 90% in target for the day, which I'm super excited about. But we did go for it. We went for takeaway, and we're trying this nice independent fancy burger place down the road. And so I just had to do so much maths to work out my dose. So I have a whole new tactic for takeaways. And you can see right here, my maths. It's wild being a diabetic. Like, who else orders a nice dinner and then it's like, oh, hang on, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes Googling carb counts and creating a bolus plan. So that's what I've just been doing since we got back from our walk. My plan basically is, obviously this isn't gonna work for everyone, but this is just how I am doing it. This is what me and talked it over with my diabetes coach, and our plan is so it's an independent burger place, but I've looked up the nutritional value for 5 guys. So I'm getting a burger, and then we're sharing a portion of chips, we're sharing a portion of onion rings, and then I've also got an espresso martini milkshake, which I'm super excited for. So I'm taking the total carbs plus 40% of the fat content, and that's going to be my total bolus dose, but I'm splitting it over 3 different doses. So 7 units pre-bolus, 7 units an hour and a half later, and then 7 units before bed, and there is 1 extra unit tacked on to the pre-bed one for protein. So I'm taking 30% of the protein and bolusing it for that as well, because it's all going to be a lot going on, and everything pushes up my blood sugars. If I eat pizza, I get a spike at 4 a.m. So it is just so slow release, and so I'm splitting it out over a nice long time. A lot of people do like a 50-50 bolus for takeaway, but I find that if I have anything more than 6 or 7 units of insulin, I plummet straight away, no matter what I'm eating. If I am eating an absolute feast of just bread, I will plummet if I have 7 units, or if I have more than 7 units. So that's the plan. I've taken my 7 units of insulin. The takeaway has just arrived, so I'm just waiting for my bolus to sink in, and of course I will show you our feast. And there we have it. I've got my espresso martini milkshake, which I am so excited for. My onion rings, we made a side of veg, we made them ourselves so that it's not extra oil, and then I've got the fries, and can you even see that burger? I am so excited for this. I'm glad I'm not no carb anymore. Well, that was delicious. I finished eating like about an hour and a half ago. It's been about 2 hours since I did my bolus, and I am 4.6 and steady, so that's good. I was originally going to do my second bolus an hour and a half after eating, but I think I'm going to wait a bit longer for that. I want it to get a bit higher before I give myself another 7 units of insulin. So it's looking like my 3rd bolus dose is actually going to be in the middle of the night. So I think I'll probably do my next, it's 9:15 now, so I'll probably do my next bolus at 9:15, and then I'll set an alarm for midnight to do my 3rd bolus, I think. But I will update you before I go to bed as to how much of my bolus I've done, but if I have to set 3 alarms tonight, it's worth it. That espresso martini milkshake thing was so nice, and it was such a good burger, and it just sucked because we moved to London when it looked like lockdown was lifting, and it was the end of lockdown number 1, and we're now in lockdown number 3, so we all know that didn't happen, and there's just so many really nice local places near us that we wanted to try, and so we thought, we haven't had like a nice dinner date out. We were just going to get like a Chinese or something. We were like, no, let's try one of these local places, try the food, and I'm so glad we did. It was so nice, and I'm just gonna have to play this out with the rest of the evening. I don't think there was actually as much carbs and fat and protein in that meal as what I calculated, because there wasn't nutritional information online, and I went off of like a fast food Five Guys place, and I don't think it was quite that much. So I may not end up having the full 21 units that I was going to have. 21 units just sounds wild, considering I was having like 1 or 2 units for all my other meals. I think it'll end up being somewhere between 50 and 20 units, but I will keep you updated. And if I do have a middle of the night injection, I will let you know, just so you know kind of how it plays out. Okay, so now 5.9, if you can see that, and it is 9:10, so I am ready for my second bolus dose. I am a bit hesitant to do the full 7 units, but because it is going up and I know there's a lot more to digest, I am going to do the full 7 units. It's been nearly 2.5 hours since my first bolus injection, but my digestion is just so slow. Okay, so it is 10 to 10. My blood sugars are 6.7 with a diagonal arrow up. I'm so happy with that after that kind of a meal. I'm not worried about it trending up because I only did my Levemir 50 minutes ago, and I only did my second dinner bolus half an hour ago, so that has not had time to kick in yet at all. Like I said, I am going to set an alarm in the middle of the night, probably for around midnight, and then I will also keep my high alarms on with my Tomato app, but I do like to set an alarm after this kind of a meal anyway, so that I can check my blood sugars, and if it is starting to creep up, I can then take my third bolus before I even get high. And then if I'm not high, obviously it's great, but I'll still keep my high alarms on so I can be alerted if I do creep up later on in the night, which, knowing me, is quite likely. As you can see, my time in target has been 91% today, which I am so happy with considering I had a hypo overnight last night, which still counts as today. And my only bit slightly above range crept up to just about 9 after breakfast when I didn't quite have my bolus in time. And my average has been 5.8. So I am super happy with that, and honestly a lot of it has got to do with my new tactics that I've been working on with my diabetes coach. But yeah, like I said, I will keep you updated with anything that happens overnight, any corrections I have. I will insert footage for that now. But otherwise, that is it for this vlog. I hope it has been informative in terms of how I keep my blood sugars stable during quite a sedentary time, and also if you are someone that experiences hypos after eating and then going high later, splitting your bolus could be something to really look into, because it's really like shot up my time in target, which has been amazing. And also, yeah, I thought it would just be interesting to show you my tactics behind takeaways, especially if you're someone like me who has a incredibly slow digestion. So fingers crossed it keeps going well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye! James, I'm vlogging.